Hello, Aries. Thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using The Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan, illustrations by Mark Evans. Yes. And for the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Red the Valentine. I already shuffled the cards. Let's go ahead and put them out here and see what we got. I want to pull from the bottom of the deck, and I don't know why. All right, let's see how this goes. Do we have we do seem to have overall energy going on here. Apparently, I'm having a day of horses. We have Knight of Swords, we have the Chariot, and we have the Two of Pentacles. And I'm noticing the horses very strongly on the top two cards, which makes me feel like charging forward, moving forward. The Swords card is like communication about what you're planning to do on moving forward, and the Chariot is actually doing it because the Chariot comes after, right? Yeah. But when I see the Two of Pentacles between them, I feel like it's like setting the stage for this to happen. I feel like you're setting the stage and making choices to bring this information forward and make it happen in a very careful, deliberate way. I feel like you're trying to decide like how you want to say it. Not so much if you're going to do it, but how you're going to do it. Okay. Now, we're going into the situation, and we got the page, not the page, well, you do have the page, but the first card that I'm seeing as you come into it is the Magician, followed by the Page of Swords. Now, the Page and the Knight of Swords, they're different in the sense of, like, the Page is more of a follower. He communicates, but he usually relays messages. He listens. The Page of Swords can be a little bit more of a spying energy sometimes, and listening in and telling the appropriate people what he's heard, he or she, whatever. Sometimes he's given a message to deliver, things like that, but it's more of a passive energy. The Knight of Swords is more aggressive in the sense of like he has something to say, he's going to say it, he's going to go out there and make sure information is understood, he's going to make sure the information goes forward. Typically makes his own decisions on how to relay information and where and when to do so. Is more of an active, more control energy, I would say. Has more of a active decision-making power about what and when to say. He's not the knight isn't really a spy. The knight is more of like, I'm going to tell you how it's going to go. And the page is more of kind of like a spying, listening, gathering information, relaying information, sometimes a messenger of like a letter, sometimes. So I'm saying that, and when I see like the Magician come in with the page afterwards, you have ideas about what you want to do. You already have ideas with the Magician, and you're starting to make them happen. You're using this Page of Swords energy, and you're listening, and you're paying attention to try to find the climate, trying to find a good way to release this information to the climate you're dealing with, because there's definitely an end goal here, but you don't see the need to create discord. You're just looking for the best way to tell the information to make impact. So I feel like what we're saying here is like you want to say what needs to be done. You want to say what you're going to do. You want to get the information out there, but you want it to be understood without question. And I feel like you kind of want to take the right moment to say it to where you tell most people at once. No, it's not where we're going for? Well, sort of. Okay, so where are we going with this? Same time frame. I feel like if you're going to start telling somebody, you'll probably tell a bunch of people in the same day or two, because I feel like you want the information out there to everybody at once as much as possible. And you don't want it to be questioned. You want it to be understood that this is your decision that you've made. So you're just trying to find a way to put it out there to make it most effective, and to like push the ball forward or kick it out on the field in a way where you make it quite clear on what you're going to do, and everybody is on the same page where they know what you're doing. I'm feeling like you want to get the information out there strongly so that there's no questions in the sense of like what you've decided, where you stand. Now, I'm getting the environment as the Queen of Cups. I feel like there's a very nurturing energy around you that supports you. The question is, do they support your decision? They support you. Whoever this is, and I'm feeling it's more of a person for most people, they support you. I don't feel like they're worried about the decision. They're just whatever you want. They're supporting what you want. They're making sure they understand what you want. If the moment comes necessary, they'll push forward that they know what you want. This is what you want. They're just making sure that the information stays on the level to where you're headed. Now I'm getting this. The year from now, this was face down, and I got it at the top of the deck, which I put right in the center here. So to me, when it's at the top of the deck or at the bottom of the deck, when there's a lot of cards behind it, even though they're not a part of the reading, it's just saying that this is definitely a big deal. This is something that's going to take a while. It's not going to happen in 5 seconds. The year from now card can be literally a year, but usually, like I've explained this in other readings, for example, and I use Christmas as an example just because it's the best one I know. If you ask a kid in August how far Christmas is away, they're like, oh my god, it's a lifetime away, and it's never going to happen. It's 4 months away, but to them it's a lifetime away. That's kind of the feel with this card. Like, it feels like a long time away. That's the point of this card. On the flip side, there's another card I feel is very valid to this. You also have success. So it's going to take a long while, but you're moving towards a very successful time, which is very good. It's just saying it's all for a reason. It's going to take a long time, but it's worth it. And I feel like you're very well aware of this. If this is hitting with you, you're very well aware of this. And this is kind of how both sides, this is how you and the other side are meeting. And I'm getting with this Queen of Cups energy again. I'm getting that this person supports you. It could be male or female. It's just talking about a very nurturing, loving energy that supports you. I'm not, even though I'm seeing success and it's going to take a while, I'm still getting that they support you. I'm not so sure if they support the situation, only because of, I don't know, I just feel like they support you. It's not about the situation for them. They support you. And I feel like that's the whole thing here. Good or bad, they support you. And I feel like that's what they're saying here. So you have the support around you. Good or bad, when you make a decision, this person just supports you. I don't know. I feel like it needs to be made special note of that this person doesn't really judge your decisions. They're a fan of you and they believe in you. So if you're going to do something, they trust that you're making smart decisions. So whether it's a good situation or not, they trust your judgment and they look out for you. I feel like there's a reason that needs to be put forward in case there's some type of question. Because I don't feel like this person. I don't feel like this person would give you pushback on your decisions. And if you're looking for a sounding board, I don't feel like this person's the one to do that with. This is a support person. This is somebody who will back you pretty much in most things you do, unless something seems extremely wrong. I just feel like they're going to support you. So if you're looking for a sounding board, if you want somebody to bounce back whether something sounds right or not, I don't feel like this is the one you want to do that with, because they're definitely just kind of like looking at it like if you want to do something, They believe you've thought it out. They believe in you. They believe that you're making the decisions you want to do. They're just gonna back you on it. They're just gonna support you. They're not really gonna question it unless something seems extremely wrong. All right. Now that being said, in the near future is right after the Queen of Cups, which I feel like this is saying that this person plans to keep going with this, plans to be more involved with your decision making. And it's a general read, so I guess I can go either way. They're going to show support in some way. I don't feel like they're going to be involved with your decision making. Maybe that's the way I went wrong with that. They're definitely going to push forward, though, that they believe in you, and they're going to give you the support socially. So if somebody else gives pushback, like they don't believe in the decision you're making, this person is going to stand up and verbally, I feel like they're going to be very verbal, supporting you and saying, you know what, that's your decision, you can do what you want, you make good decisions. This person really believed you. Like, I don't feel like, they're not really a sounding board. They're a support. They will support your decisions. I feel like you need to be aware of this. Because I feel like when they go forward and they defend you in other arenas, I don't feel like they're looking at a situation. I don't feel like they're able to answer questions about what you're doing. It feels like they're blindly just following. They're blindly supporting. And I say blindly because I don't feel like they understand exactly what you're doing. They just believe in you. So it might come off a little confusing to you how they can be so supportive and not really understand what you're doing. They believe in you, and they believe in your decision-making skills, and that's why they're pushing forward. I feel like it's quite strongly. If somebody stands up and says something negative, or it feels like to them it's negative, like they're detracting or feeling like you're making a decision that really isn't going to serve you in the long run or the situation, they're quick to stand up and negate that and be like, no, that's your decision. You make good decisions, and they're pushing it forward in that sense, but they don't really understand the situation in total is what I'm getting. And I feel like you might have to deal with a situation based on that, because I feel like when this support happens, like, again, it's blind support. Like, I don't feel like they understand the situation. They just believe in you. And if somebody seems to be giving a contrary opinion, they don't like that. And they're standing up and saying, nope, this person makes good decisions. They want to do that. That's what they're going to do. Like, it's blind support, if that makes sense. It seems like that's going to be maybe an issue. On your side, you have be assertive. I feel like you have to take control back from this. And I feel like it's dealing with the Queen of Cups, which this is a supportive player for you. But you might be wondering, I think you might have a moment of confusion here because the way they're supporting you doesn't make sense to you. Because they don't seem to understand what you're doing, but they're blindly supporting you, and I don't know if that's comfortable for you. I feel like you would prefer that they supported you, understanding where they stood, understanding what you're doing, but the fact that they're just blindly supporting you, I don't feel like you like that as much. It's not bad, but it's really not ideal. And I feel like you kind of have to say something here just to get things under control, because I feel like it's best to be thankful for the support, but to like kind of nip it in the bud and be like, you know what, I understand that you're supporting me and thank you, but I'm okay with people questioning, because sometimes these questions bring forth things I wasn't thinking about, and I appreciate the feedback. If somebody doesn't agree with me, that's fine. I would like to hear that. It's not a bad thing if somebody doesn't agree with me, but I don't understand how you're so strongly agreeing with me when it's clear that you don't understand exactly what I'm doing. I feel like there's that blind support. I feel like it's an uncomfortable moment, and you have to talk. I feel like there's a talk with the Queen of Cups to understand like where this person is, and this could be male or female, but this person's blindly supporting you, and I don't feel like you're comfortable with that, because you don't mind the questioning, because sometimes it brings things forward you weren't thinking about, but you don't like the blind following. I don't feel like you're comfortable with that. I don't feel like it's nice. I don't feel like you're good with it. I don't think you like it. I don't feel like it's a bad conversation, but it's something you have to step forward and deal with, because you have, between the two of you, you have the Hermit and you have the King of Cups. Now, with the two of these together in the action line, I feel like the Hermit is trying to figure out where the other person stands. And I feel like you're the more the Hermit energy here. in the sense of where you're trying to understand why the other person is so supportive yet seems not to understand exactly what you're doing. And you have the King of Cups here, so there's a good strong relationship here, and you're understanding the care that's coming towards you. But I feel like you're making a point here about how you want to hear about, like, you're not opposed to people, showing the negative of the situation. Excuse me. Because there's things here you want to know. I feel like you're fine with that. I feel like the two of these cards, the Hermit with the King of Cups, you're really trying to get in depth to understand where the other person's coming from. Especially because you have the Queen of Cups in the environment and the King of Cups with the action line. I feel like this is strengthening this relationship. I don't feel like there's a problem in the sense of like any damage. I feel like this is actually the reverse. I feel like this is strengthening the relationship, and you're just telling this person, I'm okay with people saying they don't agree with me. I want to know that because I want to know, like, are there things I'm not thinking of? I want to see these other angles. I want to know. I don't want to just fall flat on my face because I didn't want to hear it. I want to hear it. It's fine. I can deal with it. I can take it. So I feel like this is about a lot about the Queen of Cups energy, which could be male or female again. But I feel like it's getting closer and deepening this relationship, but also like making it clear like you don't have a problem with adversity. You'd rather hear the adversity and grow from it than, ignore it and end up falling flat on your face because you just didn't want to hear it. And I feel like you're still honoring this relationship and this is getting stronger, but I feel like you're making a point with this person in a very good positive way and showing that, not only are you not against somebody negating what they, if somebody's against your decision, that's fine. You want to know why. As long as they have something to stand on to explain why they don't agree with it, you want to be able to look at it and be like, all right, is that really a problem or is it not a problem? You want the information to come toward you because you want to be able to plan for these things. If somebody else is seeing a pitfall, you'd rather hear about it than just be like, have them shut down and then you walk right into this pitfall. Like, is that good? All right, I think we're good there. I feel like this is going well. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead and shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.